authority in Christ. First, what does the Bible say about your authority in Christ? According to the Bible, we need to submit to God's authority, and it gives us instructions about earthly authority, saying that it ought to be submitted to and respected. Perhaps the most widely quoted and well-known verse regarding this matter comes from Romans 13:1. God advises us to submit to governing authorities, for there's no authority except that which God has established. We're further advised in the Bible that rebelling against authority is rebelling against God. In Romans 13:2, therefore, whoever resists the authority resists the ordinance of God, and those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. Now, some people might say that we only need to respect authority of benevolent rulers, of good presidents. God says to respect them all. Whether you like the president that's in the White House or not today, or the one that was in years ago, I mean, you need to respect them and pray for them. If you can't pray in good conscience for the man or woman that's in office in the Senate or the House of Representatives, pray for the office of the president, that everything that is done there will be done according to God's will. Submit yourselves to your master with all respect, not only to those who are good, but also to those who are harsh. I think that applies to our employers. I mean, if you have a really good boss and it's easy to submit to them, you're lucky. But I think the statistic is something as high as 70% of the people that work every day in America anyway don't like their job, don't like their boss, and it's tough to respect a boss that's harsh and hard on you. But it is God's will that you do that. You need to uh, keep your talk respectful. Don't talk badly about your boss behind him and behind his back. Show proper respect for everyone, it says in 1 Peter 2:15 through 21. We need to love the brotherhood of the believers. We need to fear God and honor the king or the president or the governor, whomever it is. Pray for that person so that the governing forces in our nation and all over the world. I mean, this conference is running in other nations as well. Pray for your leaders that they do the right things and that do the things that are good and godly and biblical. It's commendable if a man bears up under the pain of unjust suffering because he's conscious of God. And if you suffer for doing good and you endure it, this is commendable before God. In short, God assures believers that temporary troubles should never surpass the great joy that awaits us with Him. And I'm not talking about just the great joy in heaven. A lot of people that focus more on religion and less on their relationship with Christ, they think, well, I'm gonna earn a reward once I get up in heaven. Well, we're permitted to have heaven here on earth, or at least a portion of it anyway, not the full experience, I'm sure. But heaven on earth comes as simple as the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Jesus told us to pray that way, that we're to actually intend to experience some of heaven's blessings right here. So when you think about sticking with a tough job where God sent you, or disagreeing with the pastor, for example, but God sent you to that church to help that church grow, it's not just you're going to be rewarded when you get to heaven. You can experience along the journey the passage of oh, how should I say this? Love and kindness. And even in a bad church or even under a bad government, there are joy pops that come up and show up. And it's nice that God allows us to have joy in all circumstances. Speaking of your authority in Christ, we must take authority over our troubles, temporary and permanent. Speak to those mountains and tell them to move out of your life. Let me repeat that. Your authority in Christ. We must take authority over troubles, all right? Temporary and permanent. Speak to the mountains and tell them to move out of your life. That's Mark 11:23. A lot of people get problems in their life. Their doctor says you've got this or that, and they say, oh, okay. And then the doctor might be misinformed and say, and you're going to suffer with this for the rest of your life. When a doctor says that to me, in my mind, I say, no, No, I'll get my healing from the Lord. But that's the way I process it. The key for you is to remember that when you have troubles, you have the authority to speak to the mountain, speak to the trial. When it comes to David and Goliath, Goliath thought he'd win because he was bigger than David. David knew he'd win because his God was bigger than Goliath. And so, no matter whether it's cancer, heart problems, whatever you have going on in your life as far as troubles, financial troubles, whatever, speak to that situation, order it to go so that you can have peace and harmony and happiness in your home.
Brady Ministries International is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. Your tax-deductible donations may be sent to the address on our website, edbradyradio.com, edbradyradio.com. Thanks, and may God bless you for your support and for your prayers.